What is up, music junkies? Thank you for tuning in today. We have a very special guest with us, Adam Rich, man. How are you?
Doing great. Just excited that the weather's finally warming up here in Chicago, and summer is right around the corner. So that's something that I've been waiting for a long time, living in this cold city. So
Oh my God, dude. So, how brutal are the winters out there?
uh, can't really lie about it because it is one of the worst parts of living here. I have grown up here, lived here most of my life. I did live in New York City for 4.5 years, but they're pretty bad. It's everything from the wind, cold temperatures to the snow every other day sometimes, and they're just long too. That's the really big problem. Like,
Yeah.
I'm okay with a little bit here and there, like for the holidays, and okay, it feels like winter for a month, but then when January hits, it's like okay, let's kind of get on a fast track to summer, and it doesn't get here. So it's not very fun. I could tell you that, but grew up here, so I've kind of been stuck with it my whole life. But we'll see what the future holds.
So we're from the desert, so we have the completely opposite problem.
It's
So
still
Oh,
we have
different.
like 8 months of just
I
heat,
mean,
horrible
drive and
heat.
your two different shades of.
right.
Yeah, and then then we have winter for about 3 months.
You
Sounds
know,
about right. It's so
I
quick.
I don't
think
know if my math adds up.
I'd still trade that for what we have.
You'd rather be in sweating your ass off.
Damn.
Honestly, it's better than 6 degrees and having to get in your car and wait 5 minutes for it to warm up, and
That's
and
true.
it's
You know,
just
swamp ass or cold balls. I don't
I
know.
guess
Maybe that should be a
extremes on
poll.
both sides. Yeah, extremes
So
on both.
it's either swamp ass or your balls inside your body.
Yeah,
Uh,
mangina. Wow. Okay.
so, um, first question is, how did you get started making music? Like, how did you find the talent and how to
Uh,
come up?
yeah, it's kind of a weird thing because growing up, I I wasn't like, oh, this is my path. I want to be a musician. I was really into sports. That's kind of what I wanted to do. Like a lot of kids who are into athletics is, I want to be a ball player. But obviously, uh, the talent was fine for grade school and high school, but beyond that, it wasn't there. So, um, honestly, I actually wanted to work in sports, and so I was in school for that in New York. And as a side thing, I just started getting more into music from like wanting to perform it and play it. Like, can basically control the playlist when I went to some parties, and I was getting more into dance music too, like EDM. And I mean, I've always been into a lot of genres, but that was kind of what was sticking with me or just like attracted me more. So I was then like, I wonder if there's actually a place that can actually teach me how to DJ. And New York had a school called Scratch DJ Academy, and they teach you everything from the basics to advanced skills of DJing, scratching, mixing, and all that. And so I took an intro course and and then so I started out with the DJ side and loved it. And they offered some basic music production courses. And so I was like, well, this is cool. I want to try to see what this is about. And basically, so the first 3 weeks of it, I was like, what the hell is this? Like, I had no idea what I was doing. And after it clicked, because I was doing like, they give homework assignments.
Yeah.
It's like a class. And it kind of like the light bulb kind of like switched on, and I was like, oh my god, I don't think I can ever stop doing this. And basically from then on, I took private lessons with the instructor out there. It was still basic level, and then the rest of it was just every day going on YouTube and watching tutorials and then listening to my favorite producers and just a lot of just messing around. But that's basically how it started. It started with the DJ side in this school, and I just started getting more attached to music, like beyond just, oh, this is cool listening in my car. It was more like just like getting like a feeling. I don't really
Yeah.
know how to explain it, but I guess every artist kind of has it where it's just like they can't live without it, and that's kind of how it was with me.
Yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So I got a couple of questions. So what are some things and adversities that you've had to overcome throughout your, let's call it a journey, because that's essentially what being an artist is. Because I mean, there's highs, there's lows, there's the struggle. So I mean, what was it for you that kind of made you, for
Yeah.
lack of a better term?
I mean, I'll say it's still in work in progress. It's something that I struggle with every day, and it's basically it's self confidence and being able to kind of say like, okay, this is good enough. It's time to be done with this project. I I am a perfectionist, and so every time I think like a song is like done, I have to go back and tweak it, and the tweaking takes too long, weeks, months, and you know it's so important to me to release something that I'm proud of, and it's my brand, but it's me. I've spent all this time on it, and so for me, it's just like it's got to be like perfect to my ears, and I'll send it to, I got a close circle that I trust of both DJs, producers, and friends, because you need to have all of those three, like the
Yeah,
casual listener, and then also the guys who listen
the
to the.
Yeah,
professional.
you
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
just have those yay sayers and on
No,
your,
that's
God, man,
actually
yeah, it's
worse.
great, bro. It's like, no.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know those people, and I deliberately do not send my stuff to those people because I'm not looking for that. I one time like messed around with some friend. I actually wrote a quick melody that was out of key, and I was just like curious to see what they would say. And they're like, "Oh, it sounds different, but it's cool." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." Never
Yeah.
send this to you
So
again.
now I
So
know not to send you shit.
yeah, I mean, they're too nice. So so I still struggle with it. Like, okay, yeah, it's good enough or it's not. And how are people gonna then you get the the thoughts, like they're really illogical thoughts, but like, oh, I have these fans who love my music, but what if they don't like this one? Are they gonna leave me because I have put out a song that they didn't love, which is irrational because I think we all have our favorite artists and everything
Yeah.
they put out we don't love 100%, but we stick with them because we love them, and that's just how this works. So the struggle to kind of like be like, okay, it's done, this is good enough. I'm trying to kind of push through that because it has kind of slowed down my progress, because I have a ton of music and I'm always working on, but it's like you got to at some point be like, okay, it's good enough, move on. 99% of people aren't going to be listening to it the way I listen to it, which is 100% true. I don't
Yeah.
listen to other people's music the way I listen to mine because arrange everything myself, so I know what every kind of sound is and where it happens. So
you know when a drop hits.
that's a big thing that I'm trying to like push past, and I'm trying to get better at it. So that's a one big like obstacle.
Yeah.
And then another one is it's just the marketing aspect, and I spend a lot of money on marketing, both doing my own ads and using services or companies, management companies that are helping me try to help me grow social media. But it's really I I want to just focus on the music, but the marketing is equally probably
Oh
it's
yeah.
more important.
Hey.
Dude, if you're doing all of that yourself,
I
you got
have
your
talent in
licensing,
music, but
you
yeah,
got your publishing, you got all that, and then you have your writing. And so, I mean, taking all that on by yourself is
yeah,
damn near impossible. I think
Yeah,
you would
and
almost
you're
need a
running a
team.
business essentially in the music
Literally,
industry. You're running the business.
dude.
You're the content creation, the creation of your music and stuff. That's like, let's say, uh, a screen printer. That's like how they make the money. But they also have to promote it. They have to, find the clients, find you know, the right channels to promote it. It's a business. But the thing about music is that it's complete entirely your life. It's
yeah.
100% 24/7 your life.
So it's a full time job. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And a
more
lot
than
of
a
people
full-time
think
job.
music is just a hobby, and
No, you live and breathe it, especially as an artist that is wanting to make this, life basically. So how you earn a living. So, but with it comes more than just the music side. Unfortunately, is the business side, and these social media platforms. I wasn't ever a big social media person. Like I follow on Twitter and Instagram, but I wouldn't be a person that would post a ton because
Yeah.
just it wasn't really just I didn't care to. It wasn't like my thing, but you have to now if you want to get new fans and promote your stuff and get exposure. So, it's and a lot of people know like it's a fake thing. Like people are like posting these pictures like with beautiful scenery, but let's say like for most people that's not how life works. Okay.
Nope.
You're
Amen.
right. And if you want to be able to get your stuff across the water to places like Great Britain, congratulations, by the way. So, I mean, yeah, there are obviously a lot of hoops that you have to jump through. And I mean, we were listening to your music earlier and it's fire, man. Like, it's amazing dance music. And I think that a lot more people should get into your music because it's great, dude.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I do. I mean that's what makes this stuff worth it is the messages I get from fans and people who got exposed to it. Message me on Instagram or even Twitter sometimes, being like, "Wow, this is so amazing! You're my favorite artist," and
Yeah.
it's so inspiring. The YouTube comments, which people are like afraid of,
A complete
oftentimes.
stranger.
My comments, for the most part, are are really overwhelmingly amazing, and I just like I I love it. I love that my music inspires people and makes them feel good. So it keeps me wanting to just make more and more. But it's not always you know candy in the sky. I can tell you
Yeah.
that much. There's a lot of struggle that goes with it, and there's just so much stuff behind the scenes from making a song, working, trying to find vocalists, singer songwriters, and going through that process. And I've had some really bad
So
experiences.
I do have a question about that. So if you don't mind, uh, so how do you do that? Like, let's say you find an artist that does the vocals over your track. Do you guys have a split in the shares if the song like makes crazy amounts of sales online, or how does that?
Yeah, it just depends on the project and the artist themselves. So some have their own just this is my fee, this is my publishing, we get equal rights, like 50-50. And
Mhm.
then um and I also have to pay them a fee for the top line and the lyrics too, because I've tried to get into writing lyrics a little bit, but not enough because there's too much else going on.
Yeah.
Dude,
So I pay them a fee, and then we negotiate sometimes, or they have a fee, and or I'm sorry, they have their um like they're set in stone, like, okay, half 50-50 publishing split. But sometimes I'm the one who sets it and they're okay with it, so I'll be like, you get 30% and I get 70% of the publishing, because it's my technically I'm the artist, they're the
Yeah.
feature, usually they're the feature vocalist. And so, but it just depends. I'd say the ones who are more established want more like half 50-50, whereas others, they're okay with kind of anything, they just want to jump on a project. So
Yeah. And they want to get their
no,
name
yeah, and
out there because
obviously, if it's your song that you did, it's on your terms. You're the copyright
yeah,
holder, so they could kick rocks if they don't like it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So I mean,
exactly. I am the it's my yeah I'm the copyright, I own it. um but the truth is, like, extremely powerful, and so they definitely deserve their share,
mm,
because oftentimes a vocal makes a song. So I think with dance music it's a little different, like, than pop. Like pop, it's like I feel like it's like 80% the vocal, and then you have everything else is way more background. Whereas dance music, because the stuff that I make, you have the vocal, but it has to be off, like on point and stuff. But then it has the buildups and the energy and the drop and the beat, and a lot of listeners just want to hear that part more than anything else. So
yeah.
I feel like the dance music, that part is it's a little different than pop. But yeah, we just negotiate based on you know a lot of different factors. How much is actually required of them to write? Like sometimes I don't even need that much for like a song, maybe just like a verse or something. But and a lot of these artists, these singer songwriters, just they just hop on to as many songs as they can because that's how they pay their rent.
Yeah.
So I think they're more inclined to just they want the fee that you pay them, and they don't really care so much about the publishing splits or the royalties. So but it's not always an easy task to find the right vocal. I've obviously gone through some songs that just couldn't get it. I'm still holding on to it because if it's not right, you can't release it. Like
Yeah.
I will not release anything I'm not proud of enough or confident in, unless like everyone else around me is like, this is amazing. And if I don't love it, I'll be like, okay, well, if everyone else loves it, maybe then I'll just like make something better next time I can release it.
All right.
So
So
I want to go back and elaborate. Jake said, "Great Britain, congratulations." So we looked at your Spotify kind of statistics, and your top listeners are Great Britain, Denmark, and LA.
Wow.
that's why we're like
So,
getting across the water like that.
yeah.
That's fucking
So you have
fantastic.
16,000 monthly listeners, and those are your top three cities and kind of general areas. So it's kind of crazy. Your
It's
reach
fun.
is kind of
I
crazy.
so I'm really I'm really weird. I'm not one of those people who wants to like look at their numbers every single day.
No, yeah.
I'm opposite of that. So I didn't even know. Like you guys just told me that, and I wasn't aware of it. I am like so like weird about that stuff because people obsess over it. Like they
Yeah.
obsess over numbers. Like, oh, how many streams does this have? I'm just like, you know what? Whatever. I'll look at it when I get to it. Like for
Mhm.
me, it's just like on to the next project song. I mean, obviously, you have to be like looking at the ads and how they're working. But for a while, and I still do have a lot of actually fans from India, uh, believe it or not, because I'm running ads on Instagram, and the way I said it was trying to find like the cheapest per click, and India is one of the cheaper countries for Instagram slash Facebook. So, and I love my fans from India. They're amazing. They give me so many amazing messages, and they're like fans for life,
Yeah.
and I love them. But I'll take fans anywhere, right? Like I don't care if they're from Japan, which I've gotten some awesome messages from there too. And I don't even like some of the times I don't even know how they hear it. I mean, I know I put my stuff on all the major platforms, but it's funny. Like Great Britain, I mean, that's awesome. I'd love to go, play shows there. Uh, and the United States is like actually the hardest to actually reach, believe it or not, if you're doing independent, because the ads are so competitive
Well,
and they're
that's
so
the
expensive.
industry working against the independent artists.
Yeah. So the truth is, but I don't like, again, like I said, like Asia is actually, I heard, for like dance music, it's one of the biggest markets, and so people want, like, they pay more than any other country, believe it or not. Sometimes, I mean, the United States is still like the king, but so yeah, the in terms of the reach, I think, well, today's age, you can put something up on Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever, and it can be heard from people across the world. I mean, I work with singer-songwriters from Australia to United Kingdom. So yeah, I mean, that was my goal when I got into this, is not to be like a local kind of act. It's to really go international, and the way to do it is make music that people love, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to do that. And so yeah, it's amazing that music can be loved by basically everyone of all different types of cultures and
The
languages.
universal
So
language.
Yeah. I mean, it has a reach. It has the biggest reach.
yeah, I mean, I guess it's a cliche, but it's true though. It's a fact that that is something that can unite people, and I love that people from around the world are listening to my music, and the messages, again, like I said before, are just incredible. And yeah, I
Sounds like
never would have thought that I could have made music that people love and then reach out to me saying how amazing they think it is, which is awesome.
sounds like a song I was listening to. Something about hearts coming together. Dude, it's a great song. I loved it. I can't help it. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm done.
So let's go back to the beginning. What are kind of your some of your inspirations? Maybe not necessarily in the music you're making, but just like kind of music inspirations, throughout your pretty much life.
Yeah, I I love music that just makes me feel something, whether it's sad, happy, sometimes a little like dark. I feel like music that doesn't move you is just kind of like,
Is it even worth it?
yeah, almost, unless it's like, okay, for like a club song, I guess, with the cheesy lyrics and
Gucci
like,
gang, Gucci gang.
yeah, drinking in the club, like, I mean, even like some hip hop makes me laugh. So that is something like, some of the lyrics in those songs are just like, wow. Like, so at least I laugh at it. But if it doesn't make me feel anything, then it doesn't do anything for me. And it's, yeah, for me, it's pointless to like make. So there are definitely songs that I listen to, that are, music gives you those feels um, like Blink 182. I listen to all the time, and it's like, it's the one thing that you can listen to an old song and you remember like the time of your life,
The
that
nostalgia.
time you were
Yeah.
there, or your place. Like, oh, I was in camp there when I heard this song or something. It's just so crazy how it works that way. But basically, I love making music or inspired by songs that just make me feel something emotional. I love emotional lyrics, emotional sounding uh, songs. Chords are big for me in my songs, as you see. They're very melodic melodies, memorable stuff that's memorable. Like, I, a lot of the songs,
Catchy, make you
yeah,
hum
gotta be,
into it without even realizing it.
it's
So
gotta
good.
be catchy, but it's gotta be memorable too. Like, everyone knows like their favorite songs and the melodies and obviously the lyrics. But so for me, um, listening to other artists is definitely one of the inspirations that I get. And then yeah,
Who are
sometimes,
your some of your top people you listen to?
And what is your favorite song currently?
oh man. Uh, so the first guys I was really listening to kind of learn from was Hardwell. He's one of the kings of dance music, of EDM, and I was just kind of like listening to his song Spaceman, which is like a classic in the dance music world. Didn't even have lyrics, but so he, at least to start. But yeah, so he was one of my first like guys I wanted to kind of, at first when you start producing and you don't know really what you're doing, you're almost like copying everything from your favorite producers. Like, okay, this verse is this long, and then the break out, until you figure it out. Like, okay, now I know how to make a song and I can do what I want. But at first you start like copying and following like what they're doing. So, but he was one of my first, and then in the dance music world, um, I love a lot of the, also like the melodic guys. They're not maybe as big. I mean, Martin Garrix is still, I love a lot of the stuff that he makes, but he works with this duo, Matisse and Sadko. They're from Russia and they make some incredible music. Cascade, he's from Chicago. I still have a lot of his stuff. Kashmir, he's really amazing because he's so creative and does different things. So um, I and the DJs, producers. I mean, there are a ton. So those are just like a few. Um, Favorite song that I'm listening to now? Oh God.
It doesn't have to be dance. It could be any genre.
So I go in phases where I'll listen to new music. Ones that I'm listening to on my Spotify playlist is so old. It's not so old, but it's not new. Does that count? Can I like say that?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Sure,
It
yeah.
doesn't matter.
like like Imagine Dragons Radioactive, which was a top hit.
Okay,
All right,
yeah, I
I
remember
yeah.
all
that.
Every time I hear it, for whatever reason, it just like amps me up. And I know it was like the number one song back when it was out for a while. What I did was I didn't listen to it that much when it was played over and over, but now I'm playing it over and over, because I don't know, for whatever reason it just like hits hard, and it's like, I don't know, it just kind of gets me like motivated.
Bro, his music is on some pretty really like movies and stuff. I was
Yeah,
watching this one show on Netflix called The 100, and there's a part in that uh I'm having a brain fart. The fucking scene where I guess they're walking outside and it was like the song came on and I was just like,
You're
dude,
talking about Imagine Dragons?
yeah.
Yeah, their
Dude,
music is
I know.
everywhere. They're fucking huge.
And to fucking get to that point, what I'm saying, this dude's not far away from, obviously. So
Well, I mean, I've been really recently starting to look at trying to license my music, because it is a really big way to not only make another piece of of change and a lot of money on that in that area, but also it gets your music exposed because
Yeah.
people are like, watching the show and they're like, "Hey, what is that song from?" And then they look you up. So
well, have you become a member of BMI or AS?
ASCAP, yeah,
Okay.
I've got that. I've registered a while ago, and the last like 2 weekends ago, I just spent all weekend getting everything in order, basically, like all the splits that I have for every song, every instrumental version of the vocal mix, because sometimes they ask for that too. And so all my songs so far, and I obviously I got a bunch coming out soon, but I needed to get that in order first because otherwise, if you don't, they're like, this guy isn't really ready. So, and then now, yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can get it, whatever, a show, a movie, a commercial, who knows.
So just to kind of give you a little bit of background, we interviewed this artist called Lauren Light. So she is a pop singer, but she has her own licensing company that she
Uh-huh.
helps, artists from all over the world get on movies. Like she was on the show Runaways,
Oh,
Marvel Runaways on Hulu or Netflix, one of the
Yeah,
other.
it's probably Hulu.
So all of her artists on her, um, oh, she was on Jersey Shore too, back in
oh,
the day. So
that's
So it's not far, man. Like
yeah.
you get what you put out into the universe, and it's like you got to take that path. It's
for sure. And
uncomfortable.
you don't know unless you try. So, they say like, you want to make sure your songs are licensable or whatever they say.
Yeah.
And one of the genres that they say does well is like EDM, which is
Well,
the
yeah,
stuff
because
I'm
that could go in
making.
any movie, any type of
Right.
movie. Yeah.
Exactly.
And most of my songs do have vocals, which is also a big thing. But again, like I made sure now I got the instrumental versions too. So I'm gonna kind of take that path as well and see what happens. But yeah, a lot of guys kind of get heard and discovered even I think from that aspect of
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you currently working on now? Do you have any projects coming up?
Yeah, I'm actually about to be done with like 5 songs that are um, a couple are actually club songs that I started a while ago, and it was just like for fun, and I sent it to people, and they're like, "Oh, this is really dope. You should release it." So I'll release a couple of them. Got summer, the festivals are coming, so it could be a good time to just get those. And then I got 3 that are basically 99% done. It's that last 1% that keeps me.
Your perfectionist
Yeah,
percent.
exactly.
That's the perfectionist percent.
But for all intents and purposes, like they're done. I could release them, and I think that people would. I would hope people would like them. So those are 3 that actually I started one of them a long, long time ago, with a different singer. Back when I was doing, I improved it, and then got a different vocalist who sounds really cool. And so these other 3 are kind of more my style. They're pretty much, like I said, and Don going to be releasing them. They're all a little different, but in the same category. And so I'm pretty excited about those. And then I have like 10 to 12 right now that I'm in the process of hiring and looking for new singer songwriters for them.
Good to know.
Yeah, they need some good lyrics, but the beats are pretty much there. I just got sent one literally this week, and I started mixing it like yesterday, and he said it's actually a duo, a producers and singers singer duo from India, and I discovered them through one of his websites, but then I went on their YouTube, and they had some amazing music, and the comments they get were incredible, as they should be, because it was so like emotional, melodic, their sound, and it just like was vibing perfectly for this song I had, which is one of my favorite songs I've made. And so just in terms of like the melody and the chords, I like every time I listen to, like for me, I love that people love my music, but I work on it for so long, I end up not loving it when I'm done with it, which is
That is how you know you're finished with your
exactly,
song.
yeah,
I've been saying that for years.
what they all say, which is true, because like at the start of it, it's like, oh, this is awesome, I love this. And then because think about it, if you listen to a song a million times, you're gonna get sick of it. That's kind of how it works as a producer. So
Remember when Chameleonaire came out? No, I'm just kidding.
because yeah, and I have to kind of go over the same loop over and over because I'm mixing it. So but anyway, yeah, these guys sent me the vocal. They're awesome. I'm so excited. I'm gonna try to finish it next week, and then it's just trying to get out as many as I can over
So
this next 6 months, really.
so this duo, so you said this it's a producer and a singer. Is the producer gonna try to help out at all, or is it
So
mostly just
they
the vocals?
I think they both produce and sing. They actually did something that no other singer has ever done. It's when they sent me the vocal stems, the files, they did include a couple of production elements too. One was a piano like chord progression, which actually sounds really dope when I put it in the mix. And so when I'm done with it, I'll send them the master and get their feedback, and so they can give me their input both from a singer songwriter side and a producer side.
Oh yeah,
But
that's
I'm
awesome.
at the end of the day, I'm the one mixing it and I'm mastering it. But I always like feedback from obviously both my vocalists, and any producer. So for them, since they produce, I'll say like, what do you guys think, for sure. And because the more feedback you get from people, the more ears you get it heard by, the better. Because you know I'll, even though I do trust people, even if I give it to someone to listen to it, I'm like, okay, well, I need to see what this guy says, see if it's unanimous, right? Because like one person's not enough. Like I like to try to get like 5 to 10 people if I can to listen to it before I'm like, okay, now it's done.
Yeah. So I know singing is probably like the best kind of combination for a dance song, but have you ever tried to collab with like a rapper or any other type of artist?
Um, I've gotten inquiries, or rappers have reached out to me, but I just wasn't in the zone for it, or I had too many projects going on for me
Yeah.
to kind of take on something like that, especially if it wasn't like, okay, if Drake hit me up, I'd be like, okay, yeah, let's. But some no
Yeah.
name guy that I never heard his stuff, and they're just like kind of cold, like messaging me.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, let me
Well,
look at your profile. If they're serious too, then it's one thing. But for me, I gotta look at their pages. If they don't have like much any social media presence, I'm not really interested anymore, because for me, they have to be dedicated to it as much as I am. So like I'm in this, I give everything I can, and so I know how much I'm going to give. The question is, how
yeah.
much are they going to? And if it's more like a side project for them or a hobby, I can't take it seriously. I can't take the project seriously, because you know they don't have like a skin in the game. The same like, are they investing in it? So it goes without any kind of producer or another artist. Like, are
Yeah.
they serious about it, or is it like a hobby for them? Because I don't have time. I've realized that people who aren't doing this like full time or really like making it their life, they'll sit on something for months and months. Like they're just not going to get stuff done.
They'll
I need
keep
to know that
themselves busy with projects, they'll be distracted, and
yeah,
they'll just always make excuses to never come back to the music. And I think,
right.
yeah, you gotta be serious about it.
Right. So that's why, like, if I'm spending money on them, I'll be like, hey, here's $500 for you to write some lyrics and record. They have some motivation other than the fact that they're making a song together, that they get paid if they finish it. And so that is a big motivator. And I can also, if they half-ass it and say like, and give me something that they know and I know is not good enough, I'll reject it and say, I'm not paying you until we're happy with it. And there have been instances where we had to cancel the whole project together because it just wasn't good, and they didn't do what they said they were going to do. And so, um, you know, but yeah, I would love to work on some songs with other types of artists for sure. I mean, I think some cool stuff can come out of that.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking like a club song, you know, a rapper would be kind of cool to have on a kind of a club banger.
I agree.
Not necessarily, but
Any kind of reach that you can get, anything that you'd
Yeah.
be comfortable with, I'm sure you can make it sound like fire, bro. So
Yeah, if it comes up, if something comes up, then I'll definitely explore it for sure. Uh, the club bangers, while they're very cheesy, also they do work a lot of the time. So
yeah.
uh, you know,
I
and
mean,
sometimes
look at Pitbull.
oh shit. Yes. Jeez. Never mind, I'm not
uh,
gonna go there.
I mean, sometimes you get like can get boring, monotonous after doing the same types of songs over and over. So it's good to branch out and do something different. So whether it's a hip hop song or like a trap or something like that is cool, or more like a groovy like house type vibe. I got a friend who's like making tech house and he wants to work on something at some point, so that would be cool. Different styles to mesh with. Some great stuff can come out of that.
So have you been doing this since before the pandemic happened?
Yeah. um, I, I it's been every day basically. I don't take days off.
Okay.
Maybe like one or two when my just everything needs it, like my whole body and my mind, and spend some time with family and stuff. But um, basically, for me, if I don't do anything related to music for a day, I feel like I'm way behind.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like time lost. Time is extremely valuable to, I mean, everyone, but especially I feel like an artist, producer, like I have another musician said that if you find yourself bored and you're working in music, then you're not doing it right. Like something's wrong. So, meaning I always have stuff I can be doing or have to do, whether it's on the production side or the business side, the marketing side. So, but yeah, every day since before the pandemic, during the pandemic, it's been music, music, music. Really, as I said, not many days off.
Well, besides live shows, how did it affect you? Or the
Um,
pandemic, how did it affect you?
well, definitely some anxiety,
Oh
uh,
shit.
stress, but that's, I mean, I think most of us are stressed out as artists,
Yeah,
you know.
that's
I mean, if not, I'm not afraid to admit it. Yeah, I'm stressed about the music side, the music stuff, and like just everything. So, music is often though my escape, my outlet is just like when I'm focused in on something, I just don't just everything else kind of becomes a blur, and I just get in the zone and just stay in it. So especially if I'm working on something that's like new or cool and it's getting somewhere. So yeah, but otherwise, I mean, the music side, like the production side, it really hasn't affected me, just because um, I've been just trying to do the same thing as work on music. All of my collabs with the artists happen like through just messaging on the internet, really. Because like I said, I've worked with people from living in LA, from UK, Australia, Canada. So the communication side, I guess, hasn't really changed at all. But I think like a lot of producers have actually made some amazing music because the
because of the
pandemic.
pandemic. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I've kind of been going back and forth between the songs that I'm trying to finish up and also ones that I started and want to kind of like keep going at it. So like the creative stuff, like sometimes when I'm trying to, because like I said, I mix down and master my own stuff, which is more technical stuff. But doing that all the time, you kind of like get, okay, I need to do something creative. I gotta just
Yeah.
like work on a new song or something. So trying to balance that out. It's
Exactly.
hard. I kind of bounce around between projects, and I'm really bad at staying focused on one and being like, okay, this is all I'm working on, and I'm not done until I'm done. Like I'm not moving on until I finish it. And then after like 5-7 straight hours, I'm like, oh, I need a break. I need to work on another project. It just
Yeah.
it's how it works, at least for me. I don't think I'm the only one from
So
talking to other guys.
so what is your favorite song that you have released
Um,
and
hmm,
why?
well, the vocal for sure was the Darkness song with Christina. Um, I I remember when she sent me that her vocal for it, I was like, oh my god, because 99% of the time when I get a new vocal from a singer songwriter, they always need some adjustment. Like that's just how it works with music. Like producers, that you get, they need some nudging here and there. Like, hey, can you fix this? Or I don't love this part. From the get go, I'm like, she killed it. Like I don't even have to say anything. And so because of that, um, I think I think Darkness is probably my favorite just because of the vocal. Um, keep I love Keep Coming Back vocals. She did a really cool, an amazing job on that one. But Christina Marie, who sang Darkness, she actually was on The Voice in the UK, and she came in second place. She
Oh
actually should have
wow.
won it. If you look back at it and you look at all the comments on YouTube, it's like she clearly was the best, but I don't know why she didn't. And we actually worked together on another song that I just am about finishing up. Um, so, and she wanted to work on a third song with me, but I used someone else. So, like for me, she's been like I think she's one of the most amazing, talented singers, songwriters, artists that I've ever listened to, both together and listening to on the radio, Spotify. Like she's amazing. So I guess I maybe go with that one. But the truth is, like, yeah, the songs I'm even like more excited about are the ones that are unreleased, because I haven't listened to them as much because I haven't been on them every single day, but
Yeah.
also like the new ideas, they're fresher. So, and I
And
think,
you're
I,
a growing artist. You
yeah,
grow every
exactly.
day.
Right.
So
So, like a lot of those songs I released, I had started years and years before. What happened was I was like, the ideas I thought were good, but the sound and
the
everything wasn't.
execution, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't at a professional level. So I held on to them, and I wanted to kind of improve them. And the singers and the song, like a vocalist I worked with, were like wanting to release them, but I'm like, as a producer, I'm like, I don't think it's good enough yet. Like I think the idea is good, but I think
Mhm.
it needs some changing. So I don't think they always like love that, but that was more of the producer and me being like, you know what, it still needs a little bit of work, and
I would
it could
want
have been
that in
fine
any
when.
kind of producer or creative mind myself. So if, like I said, if people don't like that, it's tough shit.
Well,
They can.
yeah. It's like, why not make it better though? Like, why would you be upset if it's going to be better if yeah,
Yeah.
and it's not, I know a lot of songs were started 5 to 6 years before they were released. Like it just happens. It's not always. Sometimes it can be done in a few months, and sometimes it's several years. It's just the way it works. It's just not. Uh, a lot of everyone's working on a ton of projects at once, and sometimes it's just like you get back to it. And so that's the case with some of these ones that are going to be released soon. And um, yeah, I that Darkness song, I actually remember she wanted to work with me on a different song, and I had someone else in mind because I wanted to work with her. So I quickly like made a quick instrumental for her within a week, tailored for her, and then we kind of just did our thing. And
That's awesome.
That is
yeah,
so fantastic.
it was, yeah, I knew exactly like the vibe I needed for her. And um it was, yeah, it was exciting to work on because like I thought just her voice is incredible. You know.
Okay. Well, I think that's about it from Mario and I. So did you have anything that you would want to say to our fans or your fans that may be tuning in? Anything you'd like to say, parting ways, or did you have anything else?
No.
Well, if this is your first introduction to me, I'll say welcome to Adam Rich. You can, I'm most active on Instagram, which is my handle is Adam Rich DJ. So it's not the most complex name to remember. And but I just want to say that whether you love my music or hate my music, just you can follow me along, and I try to be as real as I can. And all my music really like comes comes from within me, and if it's not something I'm not proud about, I'm not gonna put out anything that I think is kind of half-assed. I'll just say I put everything into my music, and I love my fans more than anything. They keep me going, and so and I always love to talk talk to my fans and message them on Instagram. So I think it's important to be personable, and I'm just like a regular, like nothing. Like I don't think I'm anything special, but I try to make music that people enjoy, and hopefully it can touch you. And so if you do, follow me on this journey, then I love you and thank you.
Awesome. Humble words.
Very, very
Thank
humble.
you again, Adam, for coming on the show. We appreciate it, and we're excited for your journey
I
ahead.
appreciate it, guys. This has been awesome. I've loved every minute of it, and I will continue to check you guys out too.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks, bud.
For sure. Have a good one.
You too.
That was Adam Rich.
Adam Rich, DJ.
DJ. Great guy, awesome music. We were listening to his music right before the interview, and we were just dancing.
I was
just fucking
I was
jamming.
humming it. Like I'm like, wow, this shit's like sticking to me. Like the Charmin commercial.
So, I mean, if you didn't already get it, he's a very humble guy. I mean, he makes music, he's a perfectionist. So his music is very, very good. It's very something you could literally listen to at any time of the day. You don't even be in a dance mood, or, it'll make you feel some
He has
type of way.
something for everyone. So definitely go give him a listen, give him a look, give him a follow. Check out our stuff as well. We have our merch store. But that's just there for you guys.
Yeah, our merch, we have shirts, masks, and I don't know how masks are gonna be moving forward with vaccinations and CDC guidelines, but we have them there if you want it. We also have hoodies, and we're gonna release more stuff soon. It's just a matter of time. But yeah, give Adam Rich a follow. Follow us on Instagram, Music Junkies Podcast on pretty much all social networks. Follow Jake, Music Jake Martin, and follow me at Mario M Music. And hit us up if you want a certain artist on the show. We'll hit him up and hope for the best. Anything you need, feel free to contact us. But we love you guys, and we hope you all stay safe.
Peace out, Music Junkies.